think that was a good point, Courtney. And although we're saying like this stuff can take a long time, um, there's also ways to kind of catapult it or give you a blueprint. So when Courtney and I met in the program Alive and Free, Sammy and Spencer had taken like 10 years of healing and put it into 9 weeks. So it kind of gave us a blueprint to go by. And Courtney was saying
Yeah.
that she's been in therapy like 24 years. Do I remember that correctly? And I've been in therapy 11 years. So now I've taken like 11 years of emotional healing, cognitive behavioral therapy,
Yeah.
nervous system regulation, and I put it in like a 12 to 14 week course. So there are ways to catapult it and to get a blueprint because then you have something to look back on. So that's why I push mentorship. Like I've really benefited from it, and Courtney has benefited from it as well. But you do got to put in the work. Um, Earlier, Courtney said something about like no one's going to go to the gym for you. There's
Hmm.
another phrase that says no one's going to do your push-ups. Like we may know what to do, but until we do it, it's not going to make a difference. And
Yeah.
God will reward your effort. You know, He will reward it. He says, seek, seek until you find. Like He's going to be there with you every step of the way. So trust the
Yeah.
process and trust the journey. Like you don't want to step into perfectionism. Another lady that me and Courtney are working with right now, Sammy, she says perfection is poverty. So you don't want to like do this perfect, give yourself grace in the process, but you do have
Yeah.
to be intentional about it.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, and one thing I find is interesting because I do think like people can choose in to whatever level of emotional healing or freedom or whatever you want to call it that you want, right?
Yeah.
And also seasons are going to be different. So maybe you're at the beginning of your journey and you're like, I'm scared to start and you only want to press in a little bit.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're like, wow, I'm overwhelmed with my work and I need to pull back. There's going to be times where it's like you're going all in, and there's times where you're like medium, and there's times where you put it on
Yeah.
the shelf. And there's so much flexibility. But what I find is interesting is I love to hear people talk about there's somehow we as humans, we always know what our next breakthrough is. Have you noticed that with people? Like, I don't know, even people that maybe I would classify, and this isn't a judgment, but classify as maybe not super intelligent. No, sorry, not, I meant to say not super emotionally intelligent. Well, that was rude. Either way, I
Crazy.
don't, we can leave it in. But there's emotional intelligence, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying people that maybe aren't on a journey like this or haven't spent a lot of time with it, there's something about like our soul and our spirit knows what we need to do in our lives.
Mhm.
So we can look at what's bringing us turmoil. Like maybe like
Yeah.
you said before, like maybe I don't speak up at work. Maybe
Yeah.
I let people all over me. Maybe I know I'm not, taking care of my finances well. It's like
Yeah.
we have this ability to know where we're struggling and what's kind of causing us pain,
Yeah.
and we'll put up with it for so long until we're ready to face it.
Hmm. Yeah.
And you don't
I
even need to
agree.
be equipped. You don't need to be equipped with all of these things, even though, like, I'm on the flip side, I'm so with you in that breakthrough can be multiplied when
Yeah.
you work with someone who has the breakthrough that you have. Like, I don't know how you chose your coaches and mentors, but I would look at what they had
Hmm.
and I would be like, okay, do they have the confidence? Do they have the freedom? Do they have like the thing that I'm missing? That emotional intelligence, the relationship style. Like
Yeah.
that's how I sought after coaches and programs and mentors or whatever. It was like, I want the thing that they have. So I
Yeah.
want them to impart that. I want them to teach me about it. I want, the breakthrough that they had. It's almost like I don't know what you would call the word. It's like it is condensed. Like laundry soap, how they started taking out the water and
Yeah.
it's more condensed now.
Yeah.
What's the word for that? I
Concentrate.
can't concentrated. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the word I was trying to think of. It's like,
Yeah.
but breakthrough is the same way. When you've had someone who has done the work, pushed
Yeah.
in, learned the process, just
Yeah.
like you said, you've taken everything and brought it down to tangible 12 weeks, of steps that someone can go through. It's like concentrating the process for
Yeah.
somebody. in order to give it to them and for them to speed up the process. So I do think it's both. It's like, yes, it's not going to happen overnight. You have to do the work, but also you can catapult yourself into the next like stage or level of your life or whatever you want to call it by leaning on people that have the breakthrough that you've wanted. And I will continue to do that for the rest of my life, I think,
And
because I'm constantly looking, I'm growing as a person, and changing as a person, and new people come into your foreground, just like Sammy, you mentioned,
yeah,
and you just connected me with her like last month or something like
yeah,
that. It's weeks ago, where
yeah,
talking to her, it was like, wow, we both have something to offer each other,
yeah,
and our paths are crossing in this season for a moment or for like a reason. And so I don't know, I just think it's a really cool thing, whether you're intentional or whether you are overwhelmed in a moment and you have to kind of back off and say like, because there is kind of this pressure in the world today too to like heal and grow. And
yeah,
it's like those can be beautiful things, but just like you said earlier, if you start to lean into perfection,
yeah,
it can kind of taint your journey to a point where it's like no longer nurture and care and love and growth. And it's this like, coming from this place that could be harmful to you. So it's like stepping back and allowing yourself to go on the next steps for you. And people know what that is. They know, like, oh, this is what I need to work on in my life and what I'm ready for.
yeah. I 100% agree. It's like, what is the next step? You don't have to think 500 steps ahead unless you're vision casting, but that's another thing. Um,
Sure.
and you said something else too. Where did it go? Oh, well, I think you might have said it a while back, but like your gifts and your strengths and things
Yeah.
like that. And just kind of knowing your seasons. There might be like a season for rest or a season to really go hard and all those things. And a
Yeah.
couple things that come to my mind is just like knowing who you are and knowing your makeup in the sense where I'm going to recommend two books. The first one is Strengths Finders 2.0. I'm obsessed with that book and that assessment, and I will be until the day I die. Instead of
Okay.
focusing on like, things that you can grow in, it focuses on things that you're already naturally good at. So for me,
Yeah.
some of them are like positivity, harmony, communication. And so it gives me tools to like enhance those gifts. It kind of goes into your
Yeah.
learning styles. Are you audible? Are you tactile? Things like that. Another book I want to recommend is Atomic Habits by James Clear, and these will be in the show
Mm.
notes. But that one, it goes into like the psychology of habits. So if you are not a morning person, do not get up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym. Maybe you are an evening person, or maybe you enjoy walks in nature opposed to running on the treadmill. So finding what works
Yeah.
for you, and then leaning into that. Also making your habits easy. So if you want to take vitamins more and you know that you have to brush your teeth every day, which you really should be, put your vitamins next to your toothbrush. So you take your vitamins before you brush your teeth. So it's really just, aligning your habits with your makeup. And I think that is so fascinating. My sister and I are reading the book again, and just to again enhance our habits and know what works for us. Oh, there's a lot of flexibility and creativity in how God created us, and there's not like a one size fits all.
Yeah.
So I recommend those books, and if you do happen to read them, put them in the comments. Let me know what you thought. Yeah,
Mhm. Sweet.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. I think,
Go ahead. I think that's all the
yeah.
time we have today, but thank you, Courtney, for being here. And we're going to have her on again. I know this collaboration is going to go a lot further
Yeah.
than what it is. She's a great person to talk to, and she just has so much
Yeah.
knowledge. So stay tuned for that. And then also, I do want to invite you ladies all to an event that we're doing. It's Blissful Balance, and it's going to be on May 3rd, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. CST. And it's just going to talk about going into springtime and like having that balance, taking care of yourself, mind, body, and soul. So Courtney's going to be one of my speakers. And then another lady, Michelle, is going to be there too. So we would love to have you. The event's free, and that will also be in the show notes as well. So stay tuned, and we'll talk to you later.